Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of Blureel Studios. The last time I sat in this chair and recorded a video was 4 months ago. And in that video, I told you I was going to be shooting 2 videos back to back. One of which was, well, the video you maybe saw a couple of weeks ago. And the next one would be this one, where I talked about the Steelbooks and collector's editions that I got over the holiday period, which is 5 months ago now. We are almost through the month of April, so I am terrible and I am incredibly apologetic about that fact. But let's just dive into this episode of Blureel Studios. But first, we gotta roll the intro. Yeah, I'm back once again. This video is going to be short and sweet. I have said that so many times before, but this time I actually mean it, because we're going to go through these pretty quickly. These are 3 collector's editions, part of a trilogy of films. One would argue some of the best superhero films ever made. Well, let's start off with Batman Begins. In 2005, the character of Batman, right, in terms of films, was kind of dead in the water. Thank you, Joel Schumacher, for killing this franchise.
I freeze.
And almost succeeding in destroying it forever.
I freeze.
But then Christopher Nolan came around and actually took this character and made him dark, intriguing, and made a great film with Batman Begins. I even remember that time period where it was like, Batman Begins, that's such a dumb title. I hate it. I had no interest in seeing this film. It wasn't until The Dark Knight came into theaters, when I saw that trailer right before I saw I Am Legend in theaters. That's way back. That incredible trailer with Heath Ledger as a Joker. I was like, this actually looks pretty fucking fantastic. Well, and I watched this film after I saw The Dark Knight. Only then that I, for the first time ever, saw Batman Begins. And in a lot of freaking ways, I find this film to be very different from The Dark Knight. Not particularly worse, but it just feels different. I think this film feels a lot more in line with comic books than The Dark Knight does. The Dark Knight is just a straight up action thriller, like almost a psychological thriller with the character of the Joker, and it feels a lot more realistic than this film does in some ways. But this is a fantastic start to a trilogy, and the Steelbook, which I know you're here for, looks absolutely fantastic. Look at this. Look at the detailing, look at the artwork, and the back. Freaking fantastic. I know why you're really here, right? You see Batman Begins, the 4K collector's edition Steelbook, and you're like, I kind of want to see the Dark Knight one, because this one was a little bit hard to get. Obviously, it's sold out incredibly fast on Zavi. I got the Batman Begins one and the Dark Knight Rises, which we'll get to, through Bol.com. There was even a sale, so I got them at a discount, because the one everybody really, really wants to get to is this one, The Dark Knight. This film blew my freaking mind back in 2008. I remember vividly sitting in the living room with my parents and my brother. We rented the film for one day, and I watched it 3 times in those 24 hours, because holy crap, is this film amazing. And very fitting, and very, very much deserved. The character that's on the Steelbook in full glory is not Batman. It is the Joker, because this film is his film. His presence is felt throughout the entire thing. The Joker is like Thanos in Infinity War. This is his film. This is his victory almost. I love this movie so much. It is fantastic. It is, for the most part, timeless, I want to say. For the most part, there are some scenes that kind of look silly now or don't hold up spectacularly well. Not in the way I want them to. But overall, this film was iconic. It changed the game for superhero films in a way that is Like, this is the benchmark for superhero films that want to be serious, gritty, and dark. This is the freaking benchmark. Not just in terms of how it looks, the character design, like the makeup, the department showed up. The score by Hans Zimmer is fantastic, but the action scenes, the practical in-camera effects. You should definitely watch the making of this film on the Blu-ray, which is freaking fantastic, right? Because it dives into so much detail as to how they made certain sequences, like the underpass chase sequence with the truck. It'll blow your freaking mind once you realize how they actually shot that, how they actually figured that scene out. It blows my freaking mind. I'm not gonna give it away. If you don't know how they shot that, then please figure it out for yourself. It's freaking amazing. Finally, last but not least, this trilogy got concluded in a very satisfying way with The Dark Knight Rises. Now, say what you will about this film. Some people like it, some people love it, some people just don't give a shit about this movie. There are things to be kind of dissected in this film, right? Like the things that don't really make a lot of sense. The biggest one is obviously, how did Bruce Wayne get into Gotham at the end? But I never saw it in that light, and I never saw it through that perspective. To me, the biggest challenge that he had to overcome was getting out of that pit. That was his swan song. That was his character arc, to let go of his fears, or to face his fears and just make the leap and get out of that pit to save Gotham. That, to me, was the real challenge. And, you could argue that still doesn't make sense. How did he get into Gotham from that point on? He has his ways. He's freaking Bruce Wayne. He's a billionaire. And he's Batman. So I never really took that much issue with that aspect of the story. But let's just showcase the Steelbook here. We have Tom Hardy as Bane. I can almost see Filthy Frank with his like pink skin tight suit on, right, facing off Bane, which is one of my favorite memes ever. But the Steelbook is beautiful. On the back we have the chalk drawing that Robin spreads around Gotham to kind of communicate with the rebellion, let's say. Again, like with the other two, there's a package with extras, stills from the film, posters, booklet, the whole shebang. Yeah, I love this trilogy. It's such a surprisingly fantastic trilogy. The Dark Knight Rises has issues like all of these films have, and yet I still find that film to be fantastic because it's such a satisfying conclusion to this trilogy. Thematically, in terms of character arcs, and Nolan was clever enough to close that door. Be like, okay, this story is over and done with. We're not gonna force out a fourth one. We're not gonna milk this story for everything it has. This is a satisfying trilogy, and I love these 4Ks. This is the first time I get these films. I got these films on 4K. I own several Blu-ray editions and some DVD editions, but to have them now on 4K is such a freaking treat. Now, I'll have to try and figure out how to kind of put these all next to each other. There you go. Posing for the thumbnail now. The Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises, the 4K Steelbook Collector's Edition. That was it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I will be right back, genuinely right back, with a second video in which I try to kind of catch up with every backlog Blu-ray and Steelbook that I haven't mentioned yet. So this is going to be a two-parter. Part 1 is now over and done with. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I will see you very soon. You guys are awesome. Let me know what you think about the new decor. Felt like switching things up. If you prefer the Blade Runner poster, let me know in the comments. It did bring some color to the set, I guess. But that poster is so iconic. I love it. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in a minute. Ciao. I'm not wearing hockey pads. No, wait. I gotta figure this out. I'm not wearing hockey pads. I'm not wearing hockey pads. I'm not wearing hockey pads. No, it's just, I'm not wearing hockey pads. Or this one, this is one of my favorite quotes. This city just showed you that it's full of people ready to believe in good. Yeah. The voice. Christian Bale, you son of a bitch.
I freeze.